Welcome to the 2-minute drill. I'm Paul Roberts, joined by Mike Drago from the Reading Eagle. We spent 2 minutes on 3 games involving Berks County high school football teams. And Mike, let's start with Conrad Weiser-Exeter. This game will be on WEEU. Last year, it was a nail-biter. Do you expect the same this season?
I think so. That was probably one of the best games I saw all last year. It came down to a field goal. You know, Exeter hit a big field goal late to win it 17-16. I expect a close game. I don't think Exeter's had a challenge like they're going to see from Conrad Weiser, so far this season. That'll be big for them. Conrad Weiser has to bounce back. That was a tough loss against Reading High. I don't think they saw that coming, obviously. Didn't play their best. It's going to be difficult for them to get back up to a high level again this week.
Chase Yoakum has 9 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Is there a quarterback in the county playing better than he is right now?
Boy, that's a good question. I mean, Jan Johnson's playing great at Governor Mifflin. There's some other guys, Zach Koenig at Fleetwood, very good job. But Chase is the key to that offense. You saw the one game he didn't play. They lost. I don't think that was a coincidence. With him in there, they're going to be tough to stop.
One of the strengths of Conrad Weiser coming into the season was an experienced offensive line and a big offensive line. Exeter, of course, has Michael Mennett up front. Do you think this game is going to be won in the trenches there?
I do. I mean, that's what it came down to last year. Both teams had really solid offensive, defensive lines last year, more of the same this year. It's not just Michael Mennett. I mean, Dylan Scott's playing very well. They've got a lot of size and experience on that Exeter front. They've been very tough to run against so far this year. They're going to be tested by Alex Gilby and Weiser, so it's an intriguing matchup.
Game 2 is Reading-Daniel Boone. How surprised were you that Reading beat Weiser for the second straight year? And maybe people could make the argument a year ago that they caught Weiser at a good time looking ahead to Governor Mifflin, but you can't say that 2 years in a row.
No, that's what surprised me, because last year, was truly an upset game, and Weiser should have been ready for it this year. They should have known what Reading had coming back, and you'd think they'd be up for it, and they just didn't play well. They had some critical turnovers in the red zone, some penalties that hurt them. They didn't wrap up Dante Owens on a key play of the game. He goes 96 yards. That game is going to haunt Conrad Weiser, I think, for the rest of the season.
I'm glad you mentioned Owens. I want to talk about him. He's going to Rutgers. He doesn't get a whole lot of touches, but he had that 96-yard run. He also had a touchdown catch. How valuable is he to the Red Knights?
Well, he's a home run hitter. I mean, anytime you have a guy like that can change the game on one play, that's huge. I agree with you. He doesn't get a lot of touches. I'd like to see them throw the ball to him a little more. But the formula they're using right now is working. They've got a lot of talented athletes on that team. They're going to be a fun team to watch the rest of the way.
Daniel Boone is 17th in the District 3 AAA power ratings. Reading High is 15th in the Quad A power ratings in District 3, and the top 16 get in. So how critical of a game is this for both teams if they want to make districts?
Right. It's huge for Reading High to win this game because they have Dover next week, I believe, and they really are in great shape to make districts if they win Friday night. Same with Daniel Boone. They're in pretty good shape too at 4-2 in AAA. They've got a chance to make districts as well. The team that loses is not out. There's still 4 games to play, a lot of time left, but it's going to be a bonus for the winner of this game.
Our final game on the 2-minute drill is Hempfield at Wilson. Wilson's had a couple of easy wins, McCaskey and Cedar Crest in league play. How much can we take out of those games?
It's hard to say. Neither team is very good. Both games were wrapped up by halftime, and the starters didn't play in the second half. You know what? I don't know that we're going to see much difference this week. I mean, Hempfield has been a real disappointment. They were one of the teams expected to be near the top in the league, and they're 0-2 already.
And they started 3-0, including a win over Manheim Central, a perennial power under Coach Williams in AAA. And now 2 straight losses, including losing by 20 to McCaskey. I mean, that was a score. I'm still shaking my head over that.
Right. I mean, that's just a disaster for Ron Zever. You just can't have that happen if you want to make districts and if you want to contend for the league title. I don't know what we're going to see this week. Hempfield's defense has really been poor. They've had trouble in pass defense. I think Wilson has a chance to exploit that with Jake Templin and his receivers, Gaiman and Fox. You know, those guys can hurt you in a variety of ways. So Hempfield's going to have a tough time slowing down Wilson.
And Shane Dantzler, after a tough game against Governor Mifflin, and the Mustangs have a very good defense, but since then he's been back on track, and Wilson fans have to like that.
Well, I think a large part of that is the offensive line. You know, they had injuries in preseason. First game, second game, they're really getting used to some new people, and they've slowly gotten better. They're getting healthier. Some guys are returning to the lineup. So it's not as much Shane, it's the guys blocking in front of them, and they're starting to do a better job, I think.
And what game will you be covering this week?
I'll be with you guys down at Exeter, and Weiser should be good.
Yeah, well, if it's like last year, we'll have a nail biter. Thanks, Mike. That's Mike Drago from the Reading Eagle. I'm Paul Roberts from WEEU, and this is the 2-Minute Drill. We'll see you next week.